Hi guys, welcome to the second part of this week's Coffee Hero Show, taking you through the single issue releases this week. A massive week as ever in the weird and wonderful world of comics. Tons of great stuff from DC, from Marvel, from indie companies. Just a very, very packed week this week. So we'll kick things off as we always do with the variants, because there's quite a lot to get through. So this week sees the release of the DC Pride Anthology one-shot, which is always a collection of stories, anthology based, obviously featuring LGBTQ plus characters. So we have a couple of variant covers for this. We have the Juliet Wreck variant cover, obviously made to look like some sort of gossip mag type situation. But we also have the Suzamaika variant cover as well, depicting Harley and Ivy. George Perez is going to be doing he's unfortunately no longer with us, but they're going to be utilising George Perez's art and doing a range of what are called legacy variant covers over the next few weeks. So we kick things off with Black Canary there, focused on Birds of Prey number 22. One that we were missing last week, and you'll see this with a couple of variants because they were missing last week, but we have this week. Batman 160, this is the retailer incentive 1 to 50 variant cover, done by In-Hyuk Lee, so continuing on Hush 2 there. We have Absolute Superman 8 this week, always a big week with any Absolute Superman release, I think. So we have the retailer incentive 1 to 50 variant cover by Clayton Crane. We have the retailer incentive 1 to 25 variant cover, which is by Jeff Spokes. We also have the Brandon Peterson variant cover, which is your standard variant cover as well. Absolute Superman 8. One we were missing last week, so we got top-ups this week, which was Absolute Martian Manhunter, the retailer incentive 1 to 25 by Riley Rossmo. The other big release this week for the Absolute Universe is Green Lantern. So we have the retailer incentive 1 to 50 variant cover by Juliet Ngeka. We have the retailer incentive 1 to 25 variant cover by Nimit Malavia. We have also the Michael Walsh variant cover as well for Absolute Green Lantern 3. A big release this week for Marvel Comics is definitely Imperial, which is the latest Jonathan Hickman miniseries. So we have a Peach Momoko variant cover there, first of all. As well as that, we have the Scotty Young variant cover depicting Nova, who will play a big part in the story. And we also have the retailer incentive 1 to 25 variant cover by Alessandro Cappuccio, who of course is the current artist on Ultimate Wolverine. Speaking of Ultimate Wolverine, we have the Lionel Yu variant cover. This is sort of the Ultimate Universe variant cover. It's a part of a series they've been doing, showing different villains and different characters in the series so far. We have also Lionel Yu doing the 1 to 25 variant cover, depicting a few more characters. And also one last one for Ultimate Wolverine 6, which is the Sanford Green variant cover as well. They did a second printing for Wolverine number 8, which of course was legacy number 400. I think that was just an excuse for them to bust out this amazing cover again. Daniel Warren Johnson. So second printing variant there. X-Men is out this week, number 17. So we have the retailer incentive 1 to 25 variant cover by Ryan Brown. We have the Megan Hetrick Pride variant cover for X-Men, obviously celebrating a Pride Month. We have the retailer incentive 1 to 10 variant cover for Department of Truth number 30 by Ran Quackenbush. What a great name. And we finish off then with the Pablo Tunica variant cover for Godzilla Heist, of course continuing their movie homage poster variants. This one of course being to Point Break. So away from there on to the mainline stuff, so let's see what we got. So we'll kick things off with Indie. We have Universal Monsters The Mummy number 3 this week, 3 of a 4-issue miniseries. So continuing there, we have Terminator number 8. So Declan Shelby continuing on with his Terminator series through Dynamite Comics. We have a new number 1, which is called Be Not Afraid. This is by Jude Ellison S. Doyle and Lissandro Esteran. Looks to be a gothic horror book. We have Dark Honor, a brand new number 1 from Image Comics written by Ethan Sachs. Looks like a slice of 90s action goodness. Speaking of 90s action goodness, we have G.I. Joe number 7. So continuing on with the Energon Universe G.I. Joe title, Joshua Williamson with Andrea Milana on art. From there we go to Gun Honey Universe, which is Heat Seeker Exposed, a Gun Honey series. This is part of the Hard Case Noir crime books. Let This One Be a Devil, next issue in the James Tynion led book on the Jersey Devil, part of the True Weird Stories from Tiny Onion. Power Fantasy, number 9, I beg your pardon. Kieran Gillen and Casper Weingart continuing there. We have Solomon Kane, number 3, continuing on through Titan Comics. The Serpent Ring storyline, of course, all part of the Conan universe. We finish off independent stuff this week with Adventure Time, brand new number 3. So from there, we move on to Marvel. So All New Venom is first up. Al Ewing continuing on with his Venom book with MJ as Venom. Yes, you heard that right. Amazing Spider-Man number 5. So Joe Kelly and Pepe Larraz continuing on with their new volume of Amazing Spider-Man. We have Daredevil number 22 this week. Saladin Ahmed, Cedric Suarez on art. So continuing the latest volume. We got some top-ups of Daredevil Cold and Hell number 2. This is a book that just we get in, it sells out, we get in, it sells out. So it's always good to get some more copies for anybody who missed out. Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. One of the best books so far this year, I think. Doctor Strange of Asgard, Derek Landy, Carlos Magno, continuing on with the Doctor Strange book, melding with the world of Thor. Next up, we have from J. Michael Straczynski and Juan Ferreira, Ghost Rider versus Galactus. This was awesome. I read this last night. This is part of these J. Michael Straczynski one-shots where he's been pairing sort of maybe characters you wouldn't necessarily pair together. Art in this is stunning. One of the best looking books this year. Always been a fan of Juan Ferreira in general anyway, but they really go to town on this. So highly, highly recommended that one. We have Immortal Thor this week, which is number 24, Al Ewing and Jan Basaluda on art. That's the second last issue of Immortal Thor. I was mentioning earlier Imperial from Jonathan Hickman, Federico Vincentini and Ivan Coelho. Again, I read this last night, the usual big sort of wide scope Hickman plans. It's going to be a 4-issue series in total. Focuses quite a lot on the Hulk's family after Hulk's son is murdered and an investigation begins. They're trying to enlist the help of Nova to help them solve it. Beautiful art, really nice big thick number 1 as well. So really, really enjoyed that. So comes recommended. Next up we have Marvel Knights, The World to Come. So this is from Joe Quesada and Christopher Priest. This is sort of an extension of their Marvel Knights stuff. This is a very Black Panther centric book dealing with the world to come. So it's dealing with sort of older superheroes. It's dealing with an older Black Panther. But it flicks around a little bit here and there, goes into the past, into the future. Again, read this last night, thought it was really, really good. I had a very Marvel-centric night last night. Thought it'd be good to get a head start on some of the stuff coming out this week. Next up, we have Star Wars Jedi Knights number 4. So we are continuing on with the Mark Guggenheim-led book with stories told within the sort of original trilogy timeline. Star Wars High Republic, Fear of the Jedi number 5. So this, I believe, is going to be the last High Republic book. We have Storm number 9, Earth's Mightiest Mutant. So continuing on with that series. And as mentioned in the variant covers, of course, we have Ultimate Wolverine number 6 this week. Chris Conlon continuing on with that. For me, probably the second best Ultimate book after Spider-Man. Then we have X-Men 17 from Jed MacKay and Ryan Stegman, continuing on their X-Books. So that is Marvel, that is Indie, and we just finished off then with DC. So Absolute Green Lantern's a big one this week, issue 3 for Al Ewing's new book. I've really, really enjoyed Absolute Green Lantern so far. I think all of the Absolute books have been really good in general, but this one definitely has a bit more of a horror slant to it, and it does sort of stand a little bit aside from the other books. It's also the only book that really is a team book. You know, the other books focus very much on the main character, whereas this is focused on Green Lantern Corps and characters you may recognize. So highly recommend jumping into that. We have Absolute Superman number 8. We've got our stickers on here, starting points for new readers. They have been doing this with the Absolute book, saying a new story starts here, which is cool. But we'll just throw that extra little bit on there just in case you're wanting to play catch up and get into these books. And why wouldn't you? Because Absolute Superman continues to astound. We have Superman in Action Comics 775. This is a facsimile edition of a previous issue. What's so funny about Truth, Justice, and the American Way. So a little reprint for that one. We have Batgirl number 8. So we're continuing on with Tate Bromble on Batgirl. That tends to be a good selling title in store. We have the DC Pride one-shot, as mentioned before, focusing on those the queer characters in the DC universe. And what else do we have? We have one last one, which is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2. So continuing on with the Legendary Comics DC crossover there. So that's everything for this week in terms of single issues. So everything going on to the racks for New Comic Book Day. Pull lists are of course organised, ready for collection whenever suits you to pop in and grab them. As ever guys, hope you enjoyed this. Hope it's proved useful, keeping you up to date with what's out this week. I look forward to seeing you in the store throughout the week. Take it easy.